What's going on, guys? Welcome back, or welcome for the first time to DJ Blighty TV, and today's video is a question I've been asked so many times over the last few years. I thought it's about time I made a video about it, and that question is, how do I record my mixes? Let's get into all that today. So yeah, before we get started, I just want to make it very clear that I'm showing you exactly how I record my mixes, and for me, I upload mixes on a weekly basis, if not twice a week, so the most time efficient process works for me, and I'm sure you don't want to waste time doing things unnecessarily. So preparation is key as far as recording mixes. So the way I do things, I record all of my mixes live. However, the longest part of that process is the preparation. So the downloading of the tracks, the preparation being running through the mix, putting all the tracks out in order, and then what I'll do, I'll lay them out in a prepare folder. So it's almost like a running order of the set, and then my job is then to record the set live and not make any mess ups. If you do make a mess up, there are options, so you can, for example, pause that section, go back and then edit that in post, but realistically that's time consuming, so you want to try your best to get the mix all done in one clean file sweep. I've been asked many times as well how I actually master my mixes. If that's something that you would like me to cover in another video, let me know in the comments below and I'll go into detail on how I actually master and edit my mixes before uploading them online. Also, if you want to know the process I use and where I upload my mixes, let me know also in the comments and I'll do a video on that for you as well. So let's get into a little bit of detail on how we actually prepare and set ourselves up for recording internally on Serato. So firstly, we need to discuss how we get the output from our mixer into Serato to record directly onto your laptop. Now, if you've got a low performing laptop with a low processor speed or something like that, you may find that it affects things. So you want to make sure that your settings aren't too high on the latency, so it actually affects what you're doing within Serato whilst recording. A little tip for you there is to turn your Wi-Fi off on your computer. So you've got two options. If you're using a DVS box like this SL4 here, what you're going to do or want to do is plug the input section, aux here, into the record out section on your mixer, which I will show a picture of now at the back of the mixer. But that's if you're not able to plug and play with your mixer. It's important that you do plug into the record out, so that if you make any adjustments to the volume on the master, for example, you're recording your mix and you do a volume adjustment like this, it doesn't become audible in the mix, if that makes sense, so it stays at one constant level. The other option then, if you've got a mixer like this DJM S9 right here, is plug and play, meaning that we're plugged directly into the mixer via USB to the laptop, so the sound, as you can see on the screen here, is coming directly through the laptop. Now, if you have another mixer, for example, a DJM 900 Nexus, and you've got the club kit, you can do the same thing. But what you need to watch is that you set the internal settings on Serato. Once you click record, like you'll see on the screen here, it's very important that you select mix and not channel 1, 2, 3 or 4 if they're available. By selecting mix, that means it's recording everything that goes on coming out from that mixer. I've been caught out before where sometimes if you shut Serato down and restart it up again, if you've plugged into a different mixer, it will actually go to channel 1, and I've actually recorded mixes without double checking this and wasted my time because it's only picked up the tracks that I've played on channel 1. So make sure that you check that setting. The next tip that I'm going to give you is to make sure that your level on Serato is not too high, and I'll tell you the reason for this. I set mine to about 3/4, but as you can see, it's peaking in the green, it's going nowhere near the amber. If it was to, for example, if I turn the volume right up, see where it's going into red here? What's going to happen when you're layering two tracks together when you're mixing, there's a potential that you may end up clipping, which means that you can't do anything about that in post, meaning in the editing process. Once you've clipped a mix or a track, there's nothing you can do about it and it's going to sound terrible. So the ideal is to keep the track and mix volume as low as possible, so then you can bring that volume up in editing to master it to make it a nice clear volume for everyone to listen to. So the next thing we need to look at is how we actually set the settings within Serato to make sure that the quality is good. So what we do is go into DJ preferences in settings here, and as you can see, mine's set at 16-bit AIFF. You can change it to WAV, you can also change it to 24-bit, but I think 16 is more than adequate when you consider the quality of the records or MP3s or WAVs or whatever you're using will very rarely be higher than that. So there's no point in taking up huge amounts of space when you are actually recording. So if you've not used the prepare folder before, what you're gonna do is simply have a little run through of your mix. So all you're going to do is, for example, this is going to be your first track. You lay it into prepare, and then as you go through selecting tracks in your folders, you just add them in here accordingly. And see this little number here? As long as you press that hashtag, it's going to put 1 at the top for the order you place them inside the folder, so everything's there ready to go. Once you're set, what you're going to do is stop the music completely so it's dead silent, press record, and you're ready to go. So we'd start the mix here, and everything that you do from here on out is recorded. What's important to remember is that you must press save when you finish recording the mix. If you don't do this, it's going to disappear and you'll have completely wasted your time. As soon as you press that record button, if you press it again, that mix is gone forever, even if you do it by accident. It's happened to me, so I know from experience. So call it something easy to remember, type it in, blah, 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 and save. And that is then saved to your Serato folder within your Mac, which you can then take out to post editing. So that is basically all I do to record my mixes. So the preparation time, generally 4, 5, 6 hours. The recording time, depending on the length of the mix, can be anything from 20, 30, 40, 50, even 60 minutes. And then I will take it from where it lands in my Serato folder in my MacBook and take it to post, which, as I said earlier, if that's something you want me to discuss in future videos, let me know in those comments, because I'm happy to show you how I master my mixes to make them all nice and level and nice clear sounding, ready for when they are uploaded onto Mixcloud. So any questions relating to this today, feel free to ask me. I'll be happy to answer something that you need to know in more detail, but that is basically how I record my mixes. There's many other options available, for example, audio recorders. There's a new little thing which is like a tape thing. I'll put all the links to those products in the description if it's something you want to check out. If you, for example, have a computer with a lower processor power that you can't quite manage to record internally on, but that is how we record internally on Serato. The same will apply for Scratch Live, Serato DJ, and as demonstrated, Serato DJ Pro. So that's a wrap for today. A pretty short and sweet video about my process and how I record internally within Serato. I hope it's helped you out if that's something that you've needed to know. If you are interested in any future tutorials, hit the subscribe button because there's plenty more on the way. Don't forget to hit the notification bell as well, because that will inform you as soon as a new video is uploaded. I've been DJ Blighty. Thanks for watching DJ Blighty TV, and I will see you again real soon. Peace.